Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Newshour, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next hour, President Draupadi Murmu addresses the nation on the eve of Republic Day, says India's self-reliance in defence powered the historic success of Operation Sindoor and that India is a messenger of peace in a conflict-ridden world. President Murmu approved the conferment of 131 Padma Awards for 2026. Actor Dharmendra and former Kerala Chief Minister V.S. Achyutanandan awarded the Padma Vibhushan posthumously. Prime Minister Modi congratulates the awardees. Republic Day parade on Monday to showcase India's rich cultural heritage, military prowess and technological advancements. And the European Council President Antonio Costa arrives in New Delhi to join European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen as the chief guests for Republic Day. Addressing the nation on the eve of the 77th Republic Day, President Draupadi Murmu hailed the success of the Indian Armed Forces in Operation Sindoor. She also underlined how women are playing a major role in the nation's growth.
On the eve of 77th Republic Day, President Draupadi Murmu addressed the nation. The President said that this year's celebrations will also mark 150 years of national song Vande Mataram.
Since 7th November last year, celebrations marking 150 years of the composition of our national song Vande Mataram are also being organized. This song, which is a prayer to the divine form of Bharat Mata, instills patriotism in every Indian. Vande Mataram, composed by the Venerable Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, is our lyrical national prayer.
Hailing India's defence prowess, President Murmu said that the armed forces completely destroyed terror camps during Operation Sindoor. She added that indigenous weapons helped India achieve historic success in the operation.
Last year, our country launched precision strikes against terror infrastructure through Operation Sindoor. Terror centers were destroyed and many terrorists met their end. Our self-reliance in the field of defense powered the historic success of Operation Sindoor. Based on the strength of the Army, Air Force and Navy, people have complete trust in our defense preparedness.
Saying that national efforts towards female education and economic empowerment have increased, the President touched upon the growing role of women in the nation's development.
The role of Nari Shakti will be crucial in the making of Viksit Bharat. With increasing contribution by women, our country will set an example of an inclusive republic based on gender equality. With an inclusive approach, many schemes are being implemented for the welfare and development of the underprivileged segments.
President Murmu also said that India's digital payment revolution is inspiring the world. Bureau Report, DD India.
All right, joining us is senior journalist Shekhar Iyer. Mr. Iyer, welcome to DD India News Hub. Now, to begin with, what, according to you, were some of the highlights or takeaways from the President's address?
Thank you, Rameshji.
Welcome.
President, as she recalled, that Republic Day is a good occasion to go back and forth and see where we were when we got our independence, where this country became a republic, and then the kind of challenges we faced, and the journey that we have undertaken thus far, and the journey ahead,
True.
and what we are doing in different sectors, different sections, how people are being empowered, particularly the weaker sections are being empowered, women in particular, our tribal community, our the oppressed classes, how they are being empowered through various schemes and initiatives, as well as what our youth are doing today, how they are benefiting from various schemes. And then she also touched upon how our armed forces are working round the clock to keep us safe and to put fear in the minds of our, I would say, enemies who do not wish to see India progress. And also how our government, our leadership, is working towards bringing about big transformation in our governance system, in the way the deliveries are made at exactly at the grassroots level. There are several things that are happening. She recapitulated various schemes that are in operation, and particularly our success in digital payments, which has been a great story, which has become an example for the rest of the world to emulate. And she also spoke about how this is an important year because this is 150 years of the Vande Mataram, a song that whenever sung, it stirs the deepest feelings for our country. And she did mention about social reformers like Sri Rana Guru, whose message continues to guide us in uniting the society. And she left us with a message of confidence and hope that among all countries today, it is India which is standing out as one that is filled with confidence, that filled with hope, and every section of the society is looking forward to its future.
Indeed. Thank you for that overview, Mr. Iyer. Now, looking at the substance of her address, she sought to lay out the priorities of a government as well. What, in your estimation, were some of those priorities?
If I were to summarize it in one word, the way the government is looking at it, that is by way of empowerment of the citizens. And that empowerment is at various levels, making the system more, what the Prime Minister has always said, ease of doing business, and doing away with a lot of practices that do not make any sense today. That's why she referred to how many laws which were obsolete have been done away with. And also how young people are making their mark because the system is recognizing them, is promoting them, is hand-holding them, be it sports, be it space, be it engineering, be it creating world-class infrastructure, or be it in area of science. I mean, everywhere what you are seeing is youth are in the forefront. And particularly, she referred to how entrepreneurs, young people are turning entrepreneurs. No one is, stepping out of college or university looking for a job. A lot of young people are today looking at how they can become business leaders themselves, how they can start up something, get the necessary assistance from the government, from the system, and move forward so that they in turn can create projects and jobs where they become employers, not just employees. This new spirit that has come because of the changes ushered in by this government. And similarly, particularly the weaker sections, they are seeing now the system is more responsive to their requirements, to their needs, and this hand-holding is actually an act of great empowerment.
Indeed, just to amplify the last bit, Mr. Iyer, the president, in my estimation, if I were, if I were asked, she spoke about how the focus is now shifted to participatory democracy, where people are increasingly becoming involved in good governance processes, and it's turning into a mass movement of sorts. But coming back to the other big thread or strand of her address, what did you make of her references to the economy, about the strong fundamentals of the Indian economy and her government's reforms process as well?
Well, we went through a very, very bad patch, particularly after the COVID. And it left, there was not a single sector that was left untouched. But once the COVID, was conquered, we saw how the government responding with special packages for different sector, particularly with it's a small sector, medium scale sector. And after that, a lot of innovative approaches were undertaken by the government. And that has resulted today, there is a sense of confidence in the industry, in the trade. Yes, a lot more has to be done by the industry themselves to see that our manufacturing sector picks up, and so that we are able to create demand. And also, as the Prime Minister has been calling for, as he said it in his radio address today also, we need to do more of products that are zero defect and take pride by making products that can be marketed everywhere as made in India. Now, these exercises are now receiving a lot of attention, and government has been guiding manufacturers and entrepreneurs to see that that we move into that class where people will feel if it is made in India, it has got to be the best. So by encouraging these things, what we are doing is we are seeing that our economy fires on all cylinders, and we are able to take advantage of the markets that are being created and the markets of the future also.
Absolutely. Mr. Iyer, the President also spoke at some length on her government's foreign and defense policies, and Operation Sindoor came in for a special mention.
Yes, and Operation Sindoor particularly for two reasons. One, this was one occasion, I would say, where India made it clear, what it says is what it means.
True.
And we have been saying it for long, that terrorism and talks cannot go together. Terrorism and supply of water will not go together. And once that horrible thing happened in Pahalgam in April last year, after that, the retribution by our armed forces was very precise, and we demolished several terrorist training centers, and even the Pakistan military bases had to take a severe hit. That was a very clear message to the handlers as well as to people who are executing this terrorism act, that India will no longer tolerate any such kind of, act against humanity. And it's now a stated policy that India cannot be cowed down by, talk of a nuclear
blackmail.
Threat.
Yeah.
Blackmail, that the Prime Minister also made it very clear. And secondly, that India would do whatever it takes to protect its citizens, protect its territory, and terrorism would be fought with full might, no matter those who sponsor terrorism manage to, influence people in other countries and try to make out as if they are the victims and not the perpetrators.
Indeed. And as we wrap this up, Mr. Iyer, as is the custom, the President has approved the conferment of 131 Padma Awards this year. Your thoughts on this year's awardees? Anything in it that stood out for you?
One thing that which has been a continuing trend since this government came is to honor our unsung heroes.
Right.
So you are seeing a lot of people from different walks of field who have done fantastic work, and by giving them this award, their work has come to the limelight.
True.
And the second thing is we are remembering some of the great Indians who are no longer amidst us, including our legendary actor Dharmender, and also V.S. Achyutanandan. He has been awarded for his contribution. He passed away last year at the age of 101. And one thing you notice, Rameshji, that many people who do not belong to, who are from a different political spectrum, they have been also honored. That's a very significant thing.
Absolutely. Indeed. All right, on that note, Mr. Iyer, thank you for joining us, and a pleasure as always to talk to you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, and still to come on DD India Newshour. Prime Minister Modi lauds the contribution of startups in his monthly radio broadcast. India celebrates Voters' Day. President Murmu gives electors photo identity cards to newly enrolled voters. And public broadcaster Doordarshan makes special arrangements for live streaming the Republic Day parade. More on that after the break.
Tamil Nadu.
Open your mind to a whole new world.
Welcome to DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Newshour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. The Padma Awards for 2026 have been announced on Republic Day Eve, honoring excellence and distinguished service across sectors. 131 awards recognizing eminent personalities as well as unsung contributors have been announced. Prime Minister Modi congratulated the awardees, calling the honours a tribute to commitment and excellence. Rupa Kumar Jha has more.
The 2026 Padma awardees, including Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan and Padma Shri, have been announced. In keeping with the tradition of unveiling the honours on Republic Day Eve to recognise exceptional public service and achievement. For 2026, President Draupadi Murmu has approved conferment of 131 Padma Awards, recognizing well-known as well as unsung individuals with long-standing contributions in diverse fields such as healthcare, education, livelihood, environment, and cultural preservation. In the Padma Vibhushan award category, 5 names have been confirmed. This includes popular Bollywood actor Dharmendra Singh Deol, who will be conferred the honor posthumously. He is known for his work in films like Sholay and Dharamveer. Further, the list includes former Kerala Chief Minister V.S. Achyutanandan posthumously, eminent Malayalam journalist P. Narayanan, former Supreme Court Judge K.T. Thomas, and N. Rajam for her contribution in the field of art. For the Padma Bhushan Awards, the list has 13 names, including former Jharkhand CM Shibu Soren, popular singer Alka Yagnik, actor-producer Mammootty, Indian banker and billionaire Uday Kotak, and former governor of Maharashtra Bhagat Singh Koshyari, among others. And finally, the 2026 Padma Shri awardees include star Indian cricketers Rohit Sharma and Harmanpreet Kaur, hockey star Savita Punia, actor Prosenjit Chatterjee, and the duo of Gayatri and Ranjini Balasubramanian, among 108 other known and unsung distinguished individuals. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated the Padma awardees for their outstanding contributions to the nation. PM Modi said that the honor reflects the spirit of commitment and excellence that continues to inspire generations. As India celebrates 77th Republic Day on 26th of January, the celebration of grassroots level heroes strengthens the core of what constitutes India. Rupa Kumar Jha's report for DD India.
And President Draupadi Murmu approved Gallantry Awards for 70 Armed Forces personnel, including 6 posthumous honours on the eve of the 77th Republic Day. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla was awarded the Ashok Chakra, while the Kirti Chakras were conferred on Major Arshdeep Singh, Naib Subedar Doleshwar Subba Singh, and Group Captain Prashant Balakrishnan Nair. The President also approved several other gallantry medals, 301 military decorations, and 98 mentioned in dispatches for personnel of the Army, Navy, Air Force and Border Roads Organization. India is all set to celebrate its 77th Republic Day tomorrow with a grand parade at Kartavya Path in New Delhi. From cultural diversity to military strength, the celebrations will showcase a spirit of unity, progress and pride. Adamya Mishra brings us more.
India is all set to celebrate its 77th Republic Day on Monday, showcasing the nation's development journey, rich cultural diversity and growing military strength at Kartavya Path in New Delhi. The celebrations will begin with Prime Minister Narendra Modi paying homage to fallen heroes at the National War Memorial, followed by the Grand Parade led by President Draupadi Murmu. The President of the European Council, Antonio Costa, and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen will be the chief guests this year. The overall theme of the celebrations is 150 years of Vande Mataram, reflecting India's unity and patriotic spirit. Around 100 cultural artists will herald the parade with a musical presentation on unity in diversity, while Mi-17 helicopters shower flower petals along the route. President Murmu will then take the salute as the parade, commanded by Lieutenant General Bhavnesh Kumar, gets underway. For the first time, the Army will display a phased battle array format including aerial elements. Advanced military platforms like T-90 Bhishma tanks, Arjun tanks, Apache and Prachand helicopters and the Nag missile system will be on display. A major attraction will be the Tri-Services tableau showcasing replicas of key weapon systems used during Operation Sindoor. The Indian Navy tableau, themed Strong Navy for a Strong Nation, will depict India's maritime legacy and indigenous strength, including INS Vikrant and INSV Kaundinya. In total, 30 tableaus, 2,500 cultural artists, motorcycle stunts by security forces, and a flypast of 29 aircrafts will make the celebrations truly grand. As the nation celebrates 77 years of the Republic, Monday's parade will stand as a powerful reflection of India's unity, strength, and unwavering commitment to progress. Adamya Mishra's report for DD India.
This Republic Day, India's biggest ceremonial parade, undergoes a historic transformation. For the first time, the Indian Army contingents will march in a combat-ready battle array, while the Indian Air Force flypast will unfold in a phased battle format mirroring real-time war deployment. As Akshay Dongri reports, Republic Day 2026 signals a clear shift from ceremonial display to operational readiness.
On Kartavya Path, the spotlight this year is how India actually fights. The parade reflects a modern battlefield where intelligence, drones, mechanized forces and air power operate in a carefully sequenced combat order. For the first time within Republic Day parade parameters, Indian Army contingents will march in a combat-ready offensive formation, depicting their real-world deployment during warfare. The formation showcases a ready, resilient and responsive Indian Army driven by intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance elements and built to deliver swift offensive action. Mechanized forces supported by aviation assets form the immediate battle-shaping punch, followed by boots on the ground infantry battle groupings, the decisive element in combat.
The array illustrates an offensive led by intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance elements. The mechanized forces with an aerial support aviation component is the immediate combat and battle-shaping punch in this formation that is being depicted.
A key highlight of the Army's display is the newly raised drone and loitering ammunition units, reflecting the growing role of long-range surveillance, precision targeting and deep strikes. These units are designed to strike targets in depth based on actionable intelligence, supported by indigenous long-range artillery systems, reinforcing India's push towards self-reliance in defense.
Special forces provide the high-risk conventional edge. They'll be on various specialist platforms employing autonomous systems. The vital boots on ground element will be showcased in this battle grouping. Along this also is the long-range surveillance and targeting ability of the newly raised drone and loitering munition units to hit targets in depth on actionable intelligence.
In another first, the Indian Air Force flypast has been redesigned in line with the phased battle array format. Traditionally conducted at the end of the parade, the flypast this year will be held in 2 blocks, aligned with the IAF's role in the overall battle order, showcasing how air power integrates into a combat scenario. The flypast will feature 29 aircraft, including 16 fighter jets, 4 transport aircraft and 9 helicopters. The highlight is the Sindoor fighter formation depicting the IAF's operational role during Operation Sindoor, the 4-day military confrontation with Pakistan earlier this year. From the Rafale Vajrang formation to maritime surveillance aircraft, heavy transport platforms and attack helicopters, the display present the full spectrum of air dominance.
परेड का आगाज़ मी-17 अपाचे हेलीकॉप्टर से होगा। परेड के आखिरी चरण तक इंडियन एयरफोर्स, इंडियन नेवी और इंडियन आर्मी के 29 एयरक्राफ्ट आपको दिखाई देंगे, जिसमें 16 फाइटर और 4 ट्रांसपोर्ट और स्पेशल जहाज और 8 हेलीकॉप्टर, ये सब 8 अलग-अलग फॉर्मेशन में फ्लाई करके जाएंगे।
Together, the Army's combat-ready battle array on the ground and Air Force's phased flypast in the sky sends a powerful message. India's armed forces are integrated, intelligence-driven and mission-ready. Republic Day 2026 is not just a celebration, it is a demonstration of India's evolving war-fighting doctrine. In New Delhi, Akshay Dongre, DD India.
And India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati is fully prepared for the live coverage of the 77th Republic Day Parade from Kartavya Path in New Delhi on Monday. The live coverage of the event will be broadcast and telecast across Doordarshan and All India Radio networks. Doordarshan has made special arrangements for the live streaming of the parade in 4K resolution on its OTT platform Waves. Vishal Baristo has more.
Information and Broadcasting Secretary Sanjay Jaju visited the Doordarshan control room set up at Kartavya Path to take stock of the preparations. He was accompanied by the Director General of Doordarshan. This time, DD is streaming the entire coverage in 4K resolution on its OTT platform Waves. More than 50 cameras are covering the Republic Day Parade on 26th January.
Doordarshan and All India Radio have made elaborate arrangements for ensuring that people from across the country are able to watch the parade right from Kartavya Path. We have made elaborate arrangements, close to about 50 cameras, as well as the entire telecast is going to be 4K, which is going to be also put out on the Waves OTT.
2 well-equipped OB vans have been deployed at the Kartavya Path.
इस बार हम पूरी कवरेज राष्ट्रपति भवन से लेके और कर्तव्य पथ और वॉर मेमोरियल तीनों जगह हमारी 4K सेटअप लगा है और हम लेटेस्ट 4K कवरेज से पूरा कवर कर रहे हैं.
More than 50 cameras have been placed to cover every angle from Rashtrapati Bhavan to the Kartavya Path.
जो भी परेड सामने से आएगी उनके शॉट्स बनाना है, उनके लॉन्ग शॉट्स बनाना है, उनके जो भी एज पर रिक्वायर्ड पैनल से जो रिक्वायरमेंट आती है उस हिसाब से हम लोग यहाँ शॉट देते हैं. तो यहाँ बड़ा अहम रोल होता है.
कर्तव्य पथ का जो जाइजेंटिक जो व्यू है वो इस क्रेन से हम लोग दे रहे हैं. टोटल कंटिजेंट का पासिंग आउट परेड सब यहीं से जो लॉन्ग शॉट जो है मैग्निफिकेशन शॉट इससे मिलता है.
The weather gods have not been very kind this time, but a backup arrangement has been put in place to meet any eventuality.
ये पूरा स्ट्रेच जो है राष्ट्रपति भवन से लेके NWM तक करीब 3.5-4 किलोमीटर का स्ट्रेच होता है. ये पूरा इंटायर कवरेज करने के लिए भी हम लोग जनरली 3 सेटअप लगाते हैं और उन तीनों सेटअप को आपस में कनेक्ट करना होता है क्योंकि 40 से 50 कैमरे 50 प्लस कैमरे लगते हैं. तो उन सबको इंटीग्रेट करके हमें ये कवरेज देना होता है. और फिर ऊपर से जो आप लोग को पता है कि रिहर्सल के टाइम में कितनी बारिश हुई उसको भी हमने ध्यान में रखते हुए हमने कंटीजेंसी अरेंजमेंट किए कि जैसे हमारी कवरेज स्मूथ हो, कोई दिक्कत ना आए.
Doordarshan is the public broadcaster that telecasts the Republic Day event every year. Vishal Baristo's report for DD India.
And still to come on DD India Newshour. New wave of protests in the US city of Minneapolis after man is killed by immigration officials. And Myanmar military wraps election with ally set to seal victory.
स्वागत आहे to Magnetic Maharashtra.
Welcome to DD India, where a billion voices unite. Connect.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Newshour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. A quick recap of the headlines. President Draupadi Murmu addresses the nation on the eve of Republic Day, says India's self-reliance in defence powers the historic success of Operation Sindoor and that India is a messenger of peace in a conflict-ridden world. The President approved the conferment of 131 Padma Awards. Actor Dharmendra and former Kerala Chief Minister V.S. Achyutanandan awarded the Padma Vibhushan posthumously. Prime Minister Modi congratulates the awardees. And Republic Day parade on Monday to showcase India's rich cultural heritage, military prowess and technological advancements. In the 130th episode of his monthly radio broadcast on Sunday, Prime Minister Modi spoke about the power of collective action in building a better nation. He said that public participation is India's greatest asset. He spoke about modern trends such as bhajan clubbing. Now, bhajan clubbing is a growing trend among Gen Z that transforms traditional devotional songs into high-energy nightclub-like experiences. He also highlighted how Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, a campaign that he launched to plant a sapling in honor of one's mother, combines tradition and environment.
Whenever the name of India is mentioned, the spirit and collective strength of its people automatically comes to the mind. Finding solutions to problems seems to be an inherent part of Indian character. In the 130th edition of Mann Ki Baat episode, Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized the power of small efforts in bringing a big change. Prime Minister also described public participation as India's greatest strength.
कुछ लोग समाज की सामूहिक शक्ति से रास्ता निकालने का प्रयास करते हैं। ऐसा ही एक प्रयास उत्तर प्रदेश के आजमगढ़ में सामने आया है। यहाँ से होकर गुजरने वाली तमसा नदी को लोगों ने नया जीवन दिया। आजमगढ़ हो, अनंतपुर हो या फिर देश की कोई और जगह, ये देखकर खुशी होती है कि लोग एकजुट होकर कर्तव्य भाव से बड़े संकल्प सिद्ध कर रहे हैं। जन भागीदारी और सामूहिकता की यही भावना हमारे देश की सबसे बड़ी ताकत है।
In his Mann Ki Baat program, Prime Minister spoke about a form of devotion that is centuries old but is now connecting with the younger generation in a new way. He said that bhajans and kirtans, once limited to the temples and religious discourses, are now becoming part of Gen Z lifestyle. From this has emerged a new cultural trend called bhajan clubbing.
देश के अलग-अलग शहरों में बड़ी संख्या में युवा इकट्ठा हो रहे हैं। मंच सजा होता है, रोशनी होती है संगीत होता है, पूरा तामझाम होता है और माहौल किसी कॉन्सर्ट से जरा भी कम नहीं होता है। ऐसा ही लग रहा है कि जैसे कोई बहुत बड़ा कॉन्सर्ट हो रहा है। लेकिन वहां जो गाया जा रहा होता है वो पूरी तन्मयता के साथ, पूरी लगन के साथ, पूरे लय के साथ, भजन की गूंज। इस चलन को आज भजन क्लबिंग कहा जा रहा है और यह खास तौर पर जैन जी के बीच तेजी से लोकप्रिय हो रहा है।
The Prime Minister also presented the image of an India that remains connected to its culture, traditions, and identity even beyond its borders. Praising the Indian diaspora, he said that Indian festivals and culture are being celebrated with pride and enthusiasm across the world, spreading the fragrance of India far beyond the national boundaries.
आज हमारी संस्कृति और त्योहार दुनिया भर में अपनी पहचान बना रहे हैं। दुनिया के हर कोने में भारत के त्योहार बड़े उत्साह और उल्लास के साथ मनाए जाते हैं। हर तरह की कल्चरल वाइब्रेंसी को बनाए रखने में हमारे भारतवंशी भाई बहनों का अहम योगदान है। वो जहां भी हैं वहां अपनी संस्कृति की मूल भावना को संरक्षित कर और उसे आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं।
Cleanliness and environmental protection are no longer just government schemes, they've become a commitment of the youth. Prime Minister praised such efforts that are making India cleaner and greener. He highlighted that crores of people have joined the Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam campaign.
पर्यावरण संरक्षण की यही भावना आज बड़े स्तर पर भी दिखाई दे रही है। इसी सोच के साथ देश भर में एक पेड़ मां के नाम अभियान चलाया जा रहा है। इस अभियान से आज करोड़ों लोग जुड़ चुके हैं। अब तक देश में 200 करोड़ से ज्यादा पेड़ लगाए भी जा चुके हैं। ये बताता है कि पर्यावरण संरक्षण को लेकर अब लोग ज्यादा जागरूक हैं और किसी न किसी रूप में अपना योगदान देना चाहते हैं।
Whether giving new life to a river, bringing water back to droughted regions, giving devotion a new expression, or planting a tree in a mother's name, the message of Mann Ki Baat is clear. Big change does not come from a single directive, but from millions of small commitments. And when every citizen embraces duty as their dharma, that is what it builds a new India, clean India, cultured India, and self-reliant India. Bureau Report, DD India.
India marked National Voters' Day on Sunday by celebrating the power of the ballot and the spirit of people. The main event, which was held in New Delhi, highlighted the role of citizens at the heart of Indian democracy. Siddharth Bharadwaj reports.
Bharat is the world's largest democracy and also the mother of democracy. What keeps it strong, intact, and thriving is the resolve, commitment, and the unwavering spirit of the people exercised with their right to vote. On 25th of January, Bharat proudly celebrates National Voters' Day. The day marks the foundation of the Election Commission of India, which was established on January 25, 1950. The 16th National Voters' Day was celebrated in New Delhi on Sunday with the theme My India, My Vote and the tagline Citizen at the Heart of Indian Democracy. President of India Draupadi Murmu presided over the event as chief guest, while Union Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal attended the event as the guest of honor. While addressing the gathering, President Murmu said India's democracy is narrating its success story to the entire world.
मतदान केवल राजनैतिक अभिव्यक्ति नहीं है, ये निर्वाचन की लोकतांत्रिक प्रक्रिया में नागरिकों की आस्था का प्रतिबिंब है। ये प्रत्येक नागरिक द्वारा अपनी आकांक्षाओं को व्यक्त करने का माध्यम भी है। हमारे संविधान द्वारा सुनिश्चित की गई वन पर्सन वन वोट की व्यवस्था हमारे संविधान निर्माताओं द्वारा जन सामान्यों के विवेक पर दृढ़ आस्था का परिणाम थी।
Union Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal described it as a day to communicate with the soul of India's democracy.
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारत में लोकतंत्र को और अधिक सहभागी, पारदर्शी और तकनीकी सक्षम बनाने के लिए जो निरंतर प्रयास किए गए हैं, उनमें डिजिटल मतदाता सेवाएं, ऑनलाइन पंजीकरण, प्रवासी और दिव्यांग मतदाताओं के लिए विशेष प्रबंध, ये सभी कदम इस सोच को दर्शाते हैं कि लोकतंत्र अंतिम व्यक्ति तक पहुंचना चाहिए.
While Chief Election Commissioner Gyanesh Kumar stated that the Election Commission of India has adopted an SIR-like process so that no eligible voter is left out and no ineligible or incorrect entry is included in the voters list.
संविधान और विधि के अनुरूप जो 18 वर्ष या उससे अधिक आयु का हो, जो किसी विधानसभा क्षेत्र में सामान्य रूप से निवास करता हो और जो भारत का नागरिक हो, वही उस विधानसभा की मतदाता सूची में पंजीकरण का पात्र है. इसी मूल उद्देश्य को पूर्ण करने के लिए निर्वाचन आयोग ने विशेष गहन पुनरीक्षण अर्थात स्पेशल इंटेंसिव रिवीजन अर्थात SIR की शुरुआत की.
President Murmu also handed over the electors' photo identity cards to the newly enrolled young electors and also presented the Best Electoral Practices Awards in different categories. The event also witnessed the launch of 2 publications.
National Voters' Day is not just an event. It's the symbol of strengthening democracy, acknowledgement of every voter, and a rise of new and self-reliant Bharat. With camera person Pramod Kumar Negi, this is Siddharth Bharadwaj reporting for DD India in New Delhi.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Sunday called on the President of European Council, Antonio Costa, and the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, in New Delhi. In a social media post, Minister Jaishankar expressed confidence that the upcoming discussions of the two leaders with Prime Minister Modi would herald a new chapter in India-European Union relations. The leaders are on a state visit to India at the invitation of Prime Minister Modi. They will be the chief guests for the 77th Republic Day celebrations at Kartavya Path on Monday. Earlier, the EU leaders were accorded the Guard of Honour at the Air Force Station Palam in New Delhi. The EU leaders will participate in the 77th Republic Day celebrations as the chief guests. During their visit, the two leaders will co-chair the 16th India-EU Summit on 27th January. The EU leaders will meet President Murmu and hold restricted and delegation-level talks with Prime Minister Modi. An India-EU Business Forum is expected to be organized on the margins of the India-EU Summit. In international updates, U.S. immigration officials clashed with locals in the city of Minneapolis after another shooting on Saturday local time. Agents deployed tear gas on a growing crowd of onlookers, and some people were taken away by agents as explosions were heard. The clashes took place at the scene where a man was shot dead by the agents. It was the second fatal shooting involving immigration agents this month during a surge in immigration enforcement in the city. U.S. immigration agents on Saturday shot and killed a U.S. citizen, Alex Pretty, 37, in Minneapolis. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security said a Border Patrol agent fired at the man who resisted agents' attempts to disarm him, but local leaders challenged that account. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived in Vilnius on Sunday to meet with Lithuania's and Poland's counterparts and join commemoration of the 163rd anniversary of the January uprising. President Zelensky and the First Lady of Ukraine were greeted at the presidential palace by Lithuania's President and the First Lady. He attended a mass at Vilnius Cathedral alongside Poland's President Karol Nawrocki and Lithuania's President Gitanas Nausėda to commemorate the 1863 January uprising against Tsarist Russian rule. Polling ended in Myanmar's month-long election on Sunday with the dominant pro-military party on course for a landslide victory, which critics fear will only prolong the army's grip on power. The election's third and last phase closed after voting took place in dozens of constituencies just a week shy of the 5th anniversary of the coup. Voting is not being held in rebel-held parts of the country. In the military-controlled areas, rights monitors say the run-up has been characterized by coercion and the crushing of dissent. All right, now take a look at what else is making news around the world. Veteran British journalist and author Mark Tully passed away at the age of 90 in New Delhi. Born in Kolkata in 1935, he spent decades reporting on India for the BBC, covering major political and social events. He authored 10 books and contributed to radio and documentary programs chronicling India's modern history. Icebergs up to a meter high drew crowds along Germany's Elbe River after icebreakers smashed ice upstream. Thousands of visitors flocked to see the unusual Arctic-like blocks on the riverbanks, which formed when ice cleared for shipping accumulated at Gitstadt's Elbe barrier. Crowds gathered at a Tokyo zoo to say goodbye to 2 giant pandas being sent back to China at the end of the month. Their departure will leave Japan without pandas for the first time since 1972, drawing huge public interest and emotional farewell visits from panda fans. And in sports, dominant India crushed New Zealand by 8 wickets in the third T20I in Guwahati to take a clinch the 5-match series. New Zealand put a below-par score of 153 on the board, with Glenn Phillips top scoring with 48. Star bowler Jasprit Bumrah completed a 3-wicket haul, while Hardik Pandya and spinner Ravi Bishnoi took 2 wickets each. In response, India made light work of the Kiwi bowlers despite the early wicket of Sanju Samson. India chased down the target in just 10 overs thanks to fiery innings by the sensational Abhishek Sharma. Skipper Surya Kumar Yadav also continued his fine form, scoring a second consecutive half-century. With this win, India have taken an unassailable 3-0 lead in the 5-match series. And joining me is my colleague Meher Singh. Meher, tell us more.
What a stunning and absolutely dominating win by India in this T20I. And you know, people were talking about how crucial this series is ahead of the World Cup. I think this victory, this dominant victory, should send shivers down the spine of other teams in the World Cup. You know, an all-round performance by the Indian team. Explosive innings by Abhishek Sharma, second fastest half-century, scoring 68 not out, and also Surya Kumar, who roared back to form in the second T20I, continued his fine form with another unbeaten half-century. And also, we are talking about the all-round performance by the Indian team. We should definitely talk about the bowling lineup as well, because in the last match, in the previous matches, we have seen India leaking runs, but in this one, the bowling was tight. The star bowler also, Jasprit Bumrah, taking 3 wickets, completing a 3-wicket haul, and Hardik Pandya and spinner Ravi Bishnoi taking 2 wickets each. So what an all-round performance, restricting New Zealand to a below-par score and then chasing down the target in just 10 overs. I think this is a statement, this is an authoritative win, and this is a stamp of authority before the all-important T20 World Cup at home.
Indeed. All right, we'll leave it there for now. Meher Singh, thank you. Appreciate it. In some most news, athletes at the Khelo India Winter Games in Leh are battling extreme conditions, with temperatures plunging to -12 to -16 degrees Celsius and oxygen levels remaining low because of the high altitude. But the harsh conditions are proving to be the perfect training ground, preparing them for future international competitions. Abhishek Prasad reports.
From Gupuk Lake to the NDS Stadium, Leh, Ladakh is witnessing top winter athletes pushing their limits in one of the harshest sporting environments in the country. Sub-zero temperatures, icy tracks, strong winds and fresh snowfall have turned every event of the Khelo India Winter Games into a real test of stamina and skill. Leh's high altitude adds another layer of challenge.
Standing here in Leh, Ladakh,
where temperature is well below zero and icy winds cut through the body. Athletes are competing in some of the harshest conditions imaginable. Despite freezing temperature and challenging terrains, their spirit remains unshaken. Their commitment and dedication truly resembles the true sportsmanship and the rising culture of winter sports in India.
Performing under these conditions demands not only physical fitness, but also strong mental resolve.
Once we are done with training only, it was very hard for all the skaters, I think. So it's really challenging for all the skaters to compete in this condition.
Behind the scenes, the government and medical teams are working 24/7 to safeguard the athletes. Athletes are being provided timely medical assistance, essential medicines, and continuous supervision to ensure they remain fit and competition ready.
The whole team is deputed at the hotel, and all the teams are working 24/7, and we have been trying to cater the 600 plus athletes and the supporting staff.
The government's commitment is visible in every aspect, from infrastructure and logistics to medical preparedness, creating an environment where athletes can focus on performance despite the harsh climate. In many ways, Ladakh is not just hosting the Khelo India Winter Games, it is preparing India's athletes for the toughest challenges on the international stage. With cameraman Jagmohan Pradhan, Abhishek Prasad, Leh, DD India.
As India looks to build champions for future Winter Olympics, athletes such as Sachin Singh and Jay Yadav are leading the way. DD India caught up with Haryana's young ice skaters to trace their journeys.
Haryana is continuously making headlines in ice skating, and with me right now is two young ice skaters from Haryana who have won medals across different categories, Sachin and Jay. Sachin, this is your second Khelo India Games, and you have been phenomenal here in short track and in relay. So how was your experience here from last year, and what kind of competition level you faced?
Yeah, last year I was competing in this Khelo India Championship, and last year I was competing in long track 1000-meter race where I won bronze medal. But this year I switched to short track a few months back, and it's a great experience to win first gold for me in individual event as well as in relay race.
Whether it's a low level of oxygen you have performing there in -12, -10 degrees, how do you adjust while you are ice skating there, and how much that affects your endurance?
Yeah, it's it's a bit different from our state to this state, because in our state we have like normal temperature, but here it's like mostly in minus temperature. So it's very difficult to compete because of low level oxygen.
You have been participating in at the Asian level, also representing India. What kind of challenges you have faced there? What kind of competition did you face, and what learnings you took?
We all know that short track is a fast game, fast speed, techniques, and all about main is technique, strength, core, mobility, etc.
What kind of technical skills is required in ice skating, and how do you prepare for these winter games? How have you been preparing throughout the year?
Firstly, for short track ice skating, we usually follow the basic skills and the top-notch skills, like the pivot style, where we used to put our left hand on the floor and just take a sharp turn, and the starts, the finish. Like there are many skills, like in relay also, how to push and how to take the push, that's all.
So there you heard from these young Haryana ice skaters who were just opening up about their experience at the Khelo India Winter Games. They've been explaining about the ice skating, their participation at the world level, and how they are utilizing these opportunities to prepare for future competition. With cameraman Jagmohan Pradhan, Abhishek Prasad, DD India, Leh.
And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. You can get the latest news on the DD India mobile app on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code to download it. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks. I am Ramesh Ramachandran. From all of us here in New Delhi, Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.